Our next author is Dr. Marissa Pei, who is author of 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. When years of therapy and drugs fail, 8 Ways to Happiness provides a prescription for happiness without the dangerous side effects. How are you today?
I am happy, thank you.
Amazing. I love that answer. I love that answer. What inspired you to write this book?
Well, I just realized that happiness is our birthright and that everybody on the planet has the ability or the choice to be happier than they actually are. And if you've been watching the news at all, which will definitely make you unhappy first thing in the morning, this is an epidemic now. We went from very few people on antidepressants and anti-anxiety to up to 1 in 4 Americans are currently on antidepressants and anti-anxiety. And the good news about that is they're telling us they're not happy. And I'm one of those people who was also not happy, even though I had all the success. I'm one of 7 out of 10 people who have had childhood trauma. Now, what's interesting is if we're the majority of people who've had trauma, then why do we think there's something wrong with us? Why do we think that we'll never get ahead, or that we'll never be worthy, or we'll never be good enough, the messages we were told? When the truth is that pain in life is mandatory, but suffering is optional. And so what I did was I wrote about not just my experiences, but the experiences of my clients. I'm an executive management coach, as a corporate psychologist, as well as a life balance coach. And so there's a lot of people who come to midlife opportunity, I don't call it midlife crisis, and they have, they don't have the American dream. In fact, they're waking up in the American nightmare. Either they hate their job, or their kids are on drugs, or their insignificant other just cheated on them, or whatever it is. And even if they have a lot of money, the tragic Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain illustrating that status and money don't guarantee happiness. So I believe that happiness is a choice. This is self-help on steroids. If you do all of the exercises in the book, I promise you will never hate yourself the same way again. I think this is a cross between I'm okay, you're still okay, and don't sweat the small stuff and the big stuff. Gotcha. And I'm very fortunate. The foreword is by Michael Bernard Beckwith. Some of you know the teacher from The Secret. It's been endorsed by Neil Donald Walsh, New York Times bestselling author of Conversations with God, as well as Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter.
So why happiness? Why happiness?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, how many in this room here want to be a little happier than they already are? Yeah, okay. So I think happiness has become this, elusive whatever, or why am I happy not right now? And so I don't want you to be happy all the time. I want you to be happy 88% of the time.
88.
If you are happy 100% of the time, you're dead. So we don't want that. We need the contrast, that 12% of the time where you're actually expanding into more happiness because you're dealing with the shift that's happening. And so there's the balance tools in here are talking about how you deal with that shift.
Beautiful. And for our viewers at home, where can they get in contact with you?
Well, you can go to my almost 20,000 and give me the finger, the thumbs up, at Dr. Marissa, Dr. Marissa on Facebook, drmarissa.tv. Okay. And if you're in Nashville, Saturday, I'm doing a book signing at my first Books A Million store, and then I've done all through California and Denver, Tattered Covers. I'm really happy to say I hit 6 bestseller lists, and 2 weeks ago, #1. So I'm super happy about that. 3 book medals and no Pulitzer yet. I'm going to have to talk to him, but very grateful. Happiness is trending. My wish is for everybody to be happy 88% of the time.
88%. I'm taking that home with me.
Peace in and peace out. My show from, I have a weekly talk radio syndicated show on iHeartRadio and CNBC. It's called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And I always sign out with peace in and peace out. That's world peace through inner peace. Thanks for
Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.